Yo, so how's it going guys? Welcome back to another GTA 5 video. Now in today's video I've got some very exciting news to discuss with regards to a possible Cops and Robbers themed DLC. As I'm sure you guys are aware, about 2 weeks ago Rockstar Games did release a Supersport update which did include a bunch of brand new races as well as brand new vehicles. Now typically for the last few years Rockstar Games have always released one big DLC and then they've drip fed one vehicle every single week for the coming weeks. Now in actual fact Rockstar Games for the first time have switched up how they're going to be releasing DLCs into the game. So instead of only drip feeding a single vehicle every single week, they're going to be grouping a bunch of cars as well as an adversary mode and make it more specific based around an event, so you get more for your buck every single week. Of course what this will mean is the drip feeding process won't last as long because obviously they're cramming it all into shorter periods. But of course that's only good news for us guys that play GTA 5 online because we get more vehicles in a shorter period of time. So for example, on the first week of release we did receive the Tesseract as well as the Ellie, and then earlier on in the week we received a brand new weaponized vehicle, the Cara alongside the brand new adversary mode. And as for the remaining content left in this DLC, that will be grouped into bundled rather than individually released. Now Rockstar Games have chosen to release these bundles back to back every week pretty much, and a lot of people assumed that they would be leaving a week in between of all of these bundles just so the DLCs spread across a longer period of time. Now of course we do know Rockstar Games have released the previous two bundles back to back, so this coming Tuesday will be kind of an indicator whether Rockstar Games are just going to be releasing these bundles week after week. Therefore we would have received all of the Supersport unreleased content by the end of this month, whereas if they don't release anything this coming Tuesday, then it's safe to assume that all of the Supersport San Andreas update content will be drip fed all the way up until the end of May. And if you guys also aren't aware, the second release grouping will include the Weenie Classic, so aka the Mini Cooper. You've also got the Vapid Flash GT as well as the Sea Sparrow, which is a famous heli from previous GTA 5s. And then as part of the third release grouping, we're going to be receiving the Overflood Tyrant, which is going to cost you guys 2.5 million, and it will also include the Vapid Dominator GTX. And then the final grouping of the Southern San Andreas website will include the Rune Turabak, the Dinka Jester Classic, as well as the Lampadati Michelli GT. Now I have already done a full showcase on all of these unreleased vehicles, so if you guys do want to see what the cars are all about, I will leave a link to that video down low in the description. Now the only reason I quickly want to mention this and the release date is just so you guys can actually get a better picture of when we might be able to see the next big update in the game, because as you guys are probably also aware, with every single DLC Rockstar Games have released, the previous DLC has basically drip fed content all the way up until a week prior to the new DLC release. So of course it would make sense with all of this brand new content being bundled into groups that we would possibly be seeing a brand new DLC update as soon as May. Now the question is, what kind of DLC update could we expect to see next in GTA 5 Online? And the rumors and leaks on this next DLC, I'm not going to lie boys, it's actually got me very excited. This is something I've spoken about for a long time in my videos and I've actually asked for, and that's like a Cops and Robbers themed DLC. And it looks like we may be receiving a Cops and Robbers themed adversary mode very soon. Now if you guys aren't aware, in the previous GTA game, GTA 4, there was actually an online game mode called Cops and Crooks, where it was basically, as it says, Cops and Crooks. One team with the cops, one team with the crooks, and the objective of the crooks was to get to somewhere else in the map while the cops had to stop them. It sounds very simple because it is, and sometimes these simple adversary modes really are the best and the most fun overall. When Rockstar Games really try and confuse things and overdo things, you do notice the community doesn't really take to them, whereas the Cops and Robbers adversary mode, I honestly think the community would love it, especially with all of the buildings being based around free roam. There's so many unused banks or fleecer banks that you could use in free roam, so you've got to hit a certain bank, like I said, within a certain time limit, and then the cops have got to stop them. You could also make it interesting by giving a bunch of new tools to the cops, so you could make it so they can throw down barbed wire to like flatten the tires, similar to how they introduced the new melee on the motorbikes with the biker update. You can just do a similar thing. When you look to the right, you can throw down the barbed wire to your right or your left. so you can kind of trap in the enemies. You could also introduce obviously the stun guns as well as a major thing that Rockstar Games have yet to release in free roam for some reason, but I think we could all agree that we'd love to see Rockstar Games introduce this stun gun so we can actually buy it from the ammo shop, as it is a perfect gun to like troll some of your friends or trap them in a certain area, and just a bunch more cool accessories that they could easily introduce in the weapon store, like even handcuffs. So if you stand behind someone, you can press right in the D-pad and you can actually handcuff somebody. That wouldn't actually be too much hard work for Rockstar Games to do, as they already have all the coding in the game to handcuff somebody. If you guys can remember the prison heist job, you actually walk through that mission handcuffed, so honestly it wouldn't be too difficult for Rockstar Games to implement that animation into free roam. But if you guys do have any other cool features that you think Rockstar Games could include with like a police or a cops and robbers themed DLC, do be sure to leave a comment down below. I know you guys always come out of tons of epic and interesting ideas, some of which I've seen Rockstar Games actually implement from similar videos like this that I've done in the past. Now of course, one thing that I think a lot of the community would love to see is being able to maybe customize and store police vehicles. If you guys aren't aware, roughly around a year ago there was a glitch going around for about a week or so until it got patched, that was basically allowing you guys to store police cars as if they was a personal vehicle. Now what that would actually mean is you guys could customize the paint job, you could change the rims, and I'm not gonna lie boys, some of the cars I've seen in the end looked sick. But of course, it's not only vehicles that we can get in GTA 5 that are law enforcement themed, like police riot vans or police cars or police bikes. A famous glitch that you guys have probably seen on my channel for the last few years is how to acquire the cop outfits. Now a few patches ago, I think it was about 6 months ago, when Rockstar Games released one of the bigger updates, they actually fully blacklisted all of the cop outfits, which left a ton of people very confused. Why was Rockstar Games taking a little measly outfit, which is basically aesthetics in the game, it doesn't affect anybody else, and fully blacklisting it, patching it off so you guys can no longer get this outfit? While it would make sense if Rockstar Games did plan on releasing it a few months later down the line, because if no one had the cop outfit, then it would make it more special and more worth buying in the in-game store, therefore benefiting Rockstar Games longer, because more people have to buy shark cards, in turn making them more money. So as a business idea, maybe now we're fully seeing why Rockstar Games blacklisted that outfit, because if you guys aren't aware, I'm fully aware, of someone that does a lot of clothing glitches, the police outfit, if not the most popular, is one of the most popular outfits that you guys can glitch in the game. So Rockstar Games, if they can make money from something that they previously couldn't, it would make sense for them to do so. We as the gamers are going to get something that we clearly enjoy, and Rockstar Games as a business are going to please Take-Two Games with being able to bring in more money. So it's a win-win situation for both parties. Now the question does lie, what makes a lot of people think that we are going to be receiving a cops and robbers themed DLC next? What has led up to this in the community and everyone assuming this? So as I'm sure you guys might be aware, Tez2 is a very credible leaker in the GTA 5 community. I've spoke about him several times already on the channel, and he has been right on tons of DLCs in the past. So earlier on he did put out this tweet, Vespucci job, adversary mode, aka the Italian job, featuring the Issy classic, one team as the runners, the other team as law enforcement. So exactly as I mentioned at the start of the video, a possible adversary mode which is basically cops and robbers. However, he did go on to elaborate a bit more on the GTA forums website, and he did go on to say it will feature the Issy classic, the other team use vehicles with sirens, so they must be cops, more likely will be released when the Issy classic is out, which is supposed to be next. So that's why I said to you guys right at the start of the video, this coming Tuesday is going to be a very big determining factor on how Rockstar Games plan on drip feeding the content throughout the coming weeks and what we could expect to see. But one thing is for certain, of course the Issy classic based around the Mini Cooper, the Vespucci job based around the Italian job, it only makes sense. If you guys aren't aware, that is a very popular movie about bank robbers who are basically on the run from cops. So Rockstar Games have probably done over 100 parodies of like famous crime movies in their game already. It would make sense for them to go ahead and do this one. And just anyone really with half a brain cell I can tell that Rockstar Games have always planned on releasing some form of like cops and robbers themed mode, and we've already had a ton of updates as far as like the criminal side is concerned, with stealing cars, selling cars, drug dealing, biker updates, lowrider updates, and of course in all of these subgenres one big main factor is law enforcement, so it would make sense, like I said, for Rockstar Games to release some form of law enforcement DLC. But do be sure to let me know what you guys make of this new adversary mode down below in the comment section. Are you interested in it? Does it sound like something you guys are looking forward to and want to play? And if you guys could add anything to a cops and robbers themed DLC, what would it be? Leave a comment down below and I'll see you guys in my next video.